Welcome to Careeroria. This channel exists for one reason. There are millions of working professionals right now who are watching AI change their industry and wondering what it means for them personally. Not in a theoretical way, in a very practical, very real way. They are sitting at their desks wondering whether the work they do every day is going to look the same in 2 years, whether their skills still matter, whether they need to do something differently, and if so, what exactly that looks like. We are not here to hype AI. We are not here to scare you either. We are here to have honest, practical conversations about how real professionals in real jobs can understand these tools, use them well, and build careers that last. Today, we are talking about administrative professionals, executive assistants, office coordinators, personal assistants, operations support staff, the people quietly holding most organizations together. If you are in one of these roles and you have been wondering what AI means for your job, this conversation is for you. Not hype, not fear, just an honest look at where AI genuinely helps, where it does not, and what it means for your career. Let us get into it. First, let us be honest about what this role really involves because it is consistently underestimated. Administrative professionals are not just scheduling meetings and answering emails. They are the operational nerve center of the people they support. On any given day, they are managing complex communications that require careful wording, summarizing lengthy documents on tight deadlines, coordinating meetings across multiple busy schedules, preparing briefings, researching vendors, taking meeting notes while simultaneously trying to participate, and producing clean professional output across all of it, often all at the same time. What makes this role genuinely demanding is not the volume alone. It is the judgment layer underneath everything, knowing how your executive communicates, understanding which relationships need careful handling, recognizing what is politically sensitive, making dozens of small calls every day that require experience, discretion, and institutional knowledge. That judgment layer is important, and we will come back to it because it is the most relevant part of this conversation. If you looked at where time actually goes in a typical administrative workday, you would find a consistent pattern. A significant portion goes to written communication, drafting emails, particularly the ones that require care, the vendor dispute, the diplomatic decline, the sensitive announcement, the follow-up after a difficult meeting. These take time not because the information is complicated, but because the tone has to be exactly right. Then there is document work, summarizing reports, preparing briefings, drafting memos, agendas, onboarding plans, event proposals. A single executive briefing on a long report can take 90 minutes done properly. A well-structured meeting agenda for a complex group takes 20 to 30 minutes. Then there is research, background on companies before meetings, vendor comparisons, industry context. All of it done through traditional web search, which means opening multiple tabs, reading through pages, and manually compiling findings. And then there is the coordination overhead, the back and forth of scheduling, the follow-up emails, the logistics. Here is the thing about all of those tasks. They have a predictable structure. Emails follow patterns, documents follow formats, research follows a consistent process, and that predictability is exactly what makes AI so relevant here. AI tools are excellent at a specific set of things: writing, summarizing, organizing information, producing structured first drafts from a clear brief, researching and synthesizing information quickly. For administrative professionals, that maps almost directly onto the most time-consuming parts of the daily workload. Take email. The difficult ones, the ones that take 20 or 30 minutes of careful drafting, can be produced as strong first drafts in about 30 seconds when you give an AI tool the right information: who you are writing to, what the situation is, what outcome you need, what tone is appropriate. A complete brief produces a result that needs only light editing to be ready to send. Take document summarization. Pasting a 40-page report into a tool like Claude and asking for an executive summary with key findings, risks, and required decisions takes about 3 minutes. A task that previously required 90 minutes of careful reading is now a 3-minute job. That is not a small difference. That changes what is possible on a tight morning deadline. Take meeting notes. AI transcription tools like Otter.ai connect to your video conferencing platform and automatically transcribe and summarize meetings in real time. Instead of dividing your attention between listening and typing, you can be fully present. The administrative output is handled. The recap takes minutes instead of an hour. Take research. Tools like Perplexity AI search the internet in real time and return organized, sourced answers rather than a list of links to click through. Background on a company before a meeting, vendor comparisons, industry context, faster and more comprehensive than traditional search. The cumulative effect of these changes across a full workday is significant. We are talking about potentially 3 to 4 hours reclaimed, not by working less, but by eliminating the structural, repetitive overhead from tasks that still require your judgment and your name on the output. This is the part of the conversation I think is most important. AI has no organizational context. It does not know your executive's communication style, the history with a particular vendor, the political sensitivities in how a message is framed, or what has been said in previous communications. It does not know your company culture or your team dynamics. It has no relationships and no discretion. Every one of those things lives in you, and every one of them matters enormously in this role. When you draft a sensitive internal announcement, AI can give you a well-structured draft, but you are the one who knows what will land well and what will cause anxiety. You know what tone reflects your executive's voice. You know what context the team has and what they are going to read between the lines. When you manage a complex scheduling situation, AI can write the outreach emails. But you know which meeting truly cannot move, which attendee needs a phone call instead of an email, and what your executive's unspoken preferences are about their calendar. That judgment, that discretion, that institutional knowledge, AI cannot replicate any of it. And here is the important part. When AI handles the structural volume of your workday, those human capabilities become more visible, not less. You have more bandwidth to bring your expertise to the work that requires it. This is not a story about AI diminishing the administrative role. For the professionals who engage with it intentionally, it is a story about the role being elevated. Let us be direct about what this means professionally. Right now, in most organizations, very few administrative professionals are using AI tools with genuine proficiency. That gap between where most people are and where you can be within a few weeks of consistent practice is significant. And that gap is an opportunity. Every organization is going to need someone who understands how these tools work, can build workflows around them, and can help colleagues use them effectively. That person does not need to be technical. They need to be curious and practical and willing to put in the time to learn. The administrative professional who becomes that person in their organization is not just surviving the shift. They are being recognized for it. They are getting included in conversations and trusted with responsibilities that would not otherwise have been accessible to their role. The time to build that position is now, while most peers have not done it yet. That window will not stay open indefinitely. If you want to start applying this practically, begin with 2 tools only. ChatGPT for drafting. The next time you have a difficult email to write, give it a complete brief, the situation, the recipient, the outcome you need, the tone, and see what comes back. For most people, that first experience is where the value becomes undeniable. Grammarly for polishing. Install the free browser extension and let it run quietly as you write. It catches errors and flags tone issues before anything goes out. For professionals producing high volumes of written communication every day, it is like having a quiet editor always present. Use those 2 consistently for a week, then add Claude for document summarization and Perplexity for research. Build the habit gradually rather than trying to adopt everything at once. And when AI saves you time, use that time intentionally. Do not fill it with more of the same tasks. Find a higher value contribution you can make and invest the time there. That is how efficiency becomes advancement. If this conversation was useful and you want to go deeper, there is a resource worth knowing about. It is called the 60-Minute AI Upgrade for Administrative Assistants. It was built specifically around this role, practical guidance for the actual daily work of administrative professionals. 50 ready-to-use prompts, real workflows, a plain language guide to the 6 tools that matter most, and a 7-day plan to build the habit from scratch. Everything we talked about today, structured and ready to apply. The link is in the description. If you want to keep having conversations like this one, practical, honest discussions about AI and professional work, subscribe to Careeroria. This is what we do here, one profession at a time. Leave a comment and tell me what part of your workday you most want AI to help with. We read everyone. See you in the next one.